Thogden here and welcome back to Game Week 6 predictions. We've got a massive guest lined up, North London derby to talk about. I'm here with Thogdad.
Hey Theo, we're not doing the points this week, I'm sorry about that.
Hey, why not?
Because, okay, we'll do them then, Theo.
I didn't
5
take
points to Specs, 9 points to Thogdad, which ain't bad, is it?
Yep.
16 points, I repeat, 16 points to this mug here.
See, when there are rules in place, you bring in the points. This week the guest is Don Robbie. How are we doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Looking forward to the North London derby. I can't wait, trust me.
It doesn't get bigger than this. The king of AFTV. But how much ball knowledge does he have? We'll soon find out.
And the first game is Manchester City against Nottingham Forest. It's first against 8th. Now,
Yes.
Man City, the only remaining 100% record in the league. You were there at West Ham last week, Theo.
I was, and they went a
29
goal
shots.
down, and then they came back, and they decided to repeat themselves against Red Star Belgrade. They went a goal down, they came back, both times losing at half-time 1-0, but both times Pep Guardiola finds a way. However, against Red Star, they had another problem with their squad. It is thinning, Thogdad. Bernardo Silva's out, and he says it's becoming harder and harder game on game. Will Manchester City keep a perfect Premier League record this weekend then, Dad?
Well, Nottingham Forest have got Callum Hudson-Odoi, haven't they, Theo? What a wonder goal he got on his debut. I've got massive respect for Forest, but this is a step too far.
Really?
City 3, Forest 0.
You mug to nil, Thogdad. You said to nil. You know Forest on the road have always scored.
True, Theo.
So I'm going to go different from you. Manchester City 3, I agree with, but Forest 1. What about Don Robbie?
I know Nottingham Forest beat Chelsea, but Chelsea are nowhere near the same level as Man City. I expect this to be, I'll go 4-1.
Thank you, Don. Robbie,
Yeah.
and now it's Crystal Palace against Fulham, 9th against 10th. It is South London, Theo, against West London. And Palace lost to Villa last week, but that man, Edouard, keeps scoring.
He does. Big problem in that 3-1 defeat to Villa was Roy Hodgson being sidelined due to illness. Having him back on the touchline for the home match, especially in a game which is a much more winnable against Fulham, who this season have dropped off a little bit. Is that fair to say?
That is fair, Theo, but Carlos Vinicius got that
Yeah, he
important
did.
goal against Luton. You've got to start him.
Eze, he's the one who's been cooking. Did you see his London Fashion Week outfit? Put it on the screen. After dropping so much sauce, he's going to have to drop that sauce on the pitch, Thogdad. Who's winning this?
This is going to be low scoring and close. I'm going to go Crystal Palace 1, Fulham 0.
I'm not going 1-0. I'm going to go 2-1. Over to Don Robbie.
Fulham have been doing okay this season. I remember when they come to the Emirates, play really, really well on the counter-attack. But then Crystal Palace at home is always a formidable place to go to. I'm going to sit on the fence on this one and go for a draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Luton Town in 20th against Wolverhampton Wanderers in 16th. Theo, this is a proper relegation tussle between two teams who lost last week. Luton, no points. What can they do here?
Let's be honest, if they're ever going to win a Premier League game, it's going to be this one. Are we going to back them to get all 3 points or even get their first point on board?
Well, they're up against Hwang Hee-chan, Theo, who scored 3 goals this season. I think he scored 3 goals all last season.
Yeah, I know.
So he's a threat. That's good to see.
Let's talk about Luton Town first. You know, the Hatters gaffer Rob Edwards, even though they lost 1-0 to Fulham, he's kept belief and he said, look, he's seen progression in the team. And the fans, even though they're losing week in, week out, they're backing him. And I like that. I'm going to back them to win 1-0, Thogdad.
Wow, that is brave. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, over to Don Robbie.
Luton, if they're going to stay up, they've got to win their home game. Wolves have actually played pretty well this season, but they just can't hit a barn door. I fancy Wolves to win this one. I'm going to go 2-1.
Brentford against Everton, 11th against 18th. Now, last week, Brentford had their first defeat of the season against Newcastle. Bit unlucky, though, Theo.
Yeah, I know. Even the manager came out and said, we did so many things right, but the reality check is they've only got 1 win in 5 Premier League matches to kickstart their season. And by the bar that Brentford have set over the recent years, that's not good enough.
Let's talk about Everton, though. 1 point in 5 games, but they've got new investment in. Will that change things?
Well, let's be real, Dad. This is Dyche's last 90 minutes. If he doesn't win, I can't see him living another match as an Everton gaffer. Brentford to win and Mbeumo to score. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm sorry, Toffees fans. I think that is Sean Dyche sacked.
What can you do at Everton if there isn't the money for the players? Look at that Everton squad. It ain't good enough. Brentford 1, Everton 0.
When you consider they're missing Ivan Toney, I think Wissa and Bournemouth up front have done really, really well. Everton, I was at Goodison last week, and I'll tell you, if they play like that they're going down. I think Brentford will win this game. 2-0.
Burnley against Lancashire, 19th against 13th. This is a proper ding-dong-do. It's a Lancashire derby, and it's going to be proper tasty. Now, I watched the Burnley game against Forest, Theo. How unlucky were Burnley? I mean, that wasn't handball.
James Trafford messaged me, he says, we're going to win this game. We're going to beat Forest. I'm like, mate, it's Forest away. They always do well at home. He was so convinced to me. And when I watched the game, and I saw them score in the, 86th minute?
It was late.
I was like, how can VAR write this off? And the decision was very 50-50 too. And I've seen great potential from Amdouni. You know, people constantly call him the next thing to Messi, and they need to stop these comments. Amdouni is Amdouni.
It's gonna be 1-1.
Let's talk about Manchester United. I was in Munich. I saw the 7-goal thriller. Go watch the vlog, by the way. If you haven't watched that, it's carnage. Ten Hag was right to say that his players lacked determination, because they did. When Bayern were running through, there wasn't enough energy. I'm gonna go 1-1. I'm not convinced United are gonna beat Burnley.
And I want to know, Don Robbie, what do you reckon, pal?
That game against Bayern Munich, I mean, I know they scored 3 goals, but that flattered them. They were really poor. I watched Burnley's game on Monday against Nottingham Forest. I thought Burnley played well, should have won the game. I think they're going to cause some problems to United.
What's going to happen, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm going to go United 2-1.
After all that.
Yeah.
Chelsea versus Aston Villa, 14th against 7th, and the woes continue for your Chelsea, Theo. Nico Jackson.
My Chelsea?
Yeah, you were bigging him up. You said he was going to be the best thing since sliced bread.
But that's bollocks, Dad. I never had Nico Jackson in my fantasy team, and all the experts are going for him. I had Raheem Sterling, and he got 2 goals and 1 assist in 1 match, and then has blanked 2 weeks in a row. I don't know what to do with him. Aston Villa on Thursday night have to come back from Legia Warsaw.
Well, I'll tell you what, Aston Villa, 3 late goals, wasn't it, against Crystal Palace? Very impressive this season. This is going to be a really tough game. I'm not brave enough to say that they'll win, though. I'm going for Chelsea 1, Villa 1, Raheem Sterling to get the goal.
I'm going to say 1-1. The first time I'm agreeing with you, Thog Dad, in this video. I think it's a fair prediction. I can see 1-1 happening. But Robbie, will he make it a triplet?
They've spent £1 billion and they haven't brought in any world-class players. Is Nicholas Jackson any better than Dominic Solanke? What have I seen of him so far? He looks decent, but so Solanke's decent. Chelsea have to win this game.
Must win.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chelsea 2-1.
Now, I can't wait to hear what Robbie's got to say about this one, because it's Arsenal against Tottenham Hotspur, 4th against 2nd. More importantly, this is the North London derby, one of the biggest games in world football. Theo, talk me through it.
I can't wait to watch this game, because both teams are on fire. 4-0 PSV results, Saka scored, he wanted more for the fans and he gave them more. Mikel Arteta used the word phenomenal in his post-match talk, and I think it's fair to say they are looking better than ever. Ange Postecoglou is someone who's ready for big games. What he learned at Celtic was how to deal with old firms, and he will be ready to take on the fierce rivalry of the North London derby. I'm going for a 5-goal thriller. I'm sorry, Tottenham fans. Arsenal 3, Tottenham 2, Gabriel Jesus masterclass.
That is enormous. I'm going Arsenal 2, Spurs 1. Home advantage, but like we said, Robbie.
This is all about Robbie.
What do you
Give us your knowledge, son.
They've been playing well, Tottenham. We have to give them their respect. They've been playing well. They've been dispatching of teams. Well, I know why their fans are all excited and that, but you know, we've also been unbeaten this season as well. We haven't lost this season.
You got an unbeaten streak of 12 games at home.
Yeah, and on top of that, you know what I mean, we've got a very good side. We've got Declan Rice in there now doing bits. Gabriel Jesus is back and he's really on form as well.
What will you do if Richarlison scores at the Emirates?
Well, listen, you never know. He could do. You know what I mean? He scored last week, didn't he? I mean, I didn't think this guy would ever score again, the way he's been carried on. The atmosphere on Sunday is going to be electric, right? And I know Tottenham have got off to a good start of the season, but this is their first, for me, their first big test.
Right, this is a big question, but give me that final score that you think is going to happen in mind. 3-1.
Arsenal, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You've given Tottenham a goal.
Liverpool against West Ham United, 3rd against 6th. 2 teams on cracking form this season. Mo Salah, 3 assists last week, Thuggy.
And both of these teams are playing on a Thursday night. Liverpool have had to go to Lask away. However, young Klopp was clever, and he's rested Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, Gakpo, McAllister, even the keeper Alisson, Szoboszlai, Robbo, Trent. Trent wasn't even in the squad, Dad. Liverpool are preparing themselves for a big home win. They're focusing on the Premier League. They know the value of keeping in that top 3, eh, Dad?
I tell you what, West Ham United are no mugs. I've got a question for you, Theo. James Ward-Prowse, was he the signing of the season in the Premier League?
He was amazing against Man City, and it's not just dead balls or set pieces or whatever. No, actually getting into the box, scoring headers against the best team in the world. That man is in the right place at the right time for a team that he's not even had enough time on the training ground to get styles of play. It's incredible. But I still back the Anfield cop, the atmosphere. 2-0 win, Salah, 1 goal, 1 assist.
Liverpool 2, West Ham United 1. I think this is going to be a really good game.
Liverpool they're on a really good unbeaten run, and they've started the season well. I did say at the start of the season I feel they'll kind of challenge for the league, and I think they'll continue their winning run. I think they'll win this 2-0.
Brighton and Hove Albion against AFC Bournemouth, 5th against 15th. All I can say is grab your buckets and spades, grab your rock, grab your ice creams and your picnic blankets and get down to the coast, the south coast.
You won't find a sandy beach in Brighton, Dad.
Really?
No, you won't. You just find loads of seagulls and loads of rocks. And they keep stealing my sandwiches. Jokes aside, I once went for a curry and chips from one of the local chippies on the beach.
Yeah.
The bloody seagulls started attacking it, taking my chips. I don't want to touch them after the seagulls sat there scranning my curry and chips.
But waffling.
Amex.
Brighton against Bournemouth. Brighton beat Man United. They were superb. 15 goals. They are higher scoring than Man City.
Brighton have been perfect so far. Every big game, they've won. However, it would be the most deservy Brighton thing ever to lose to Bournemouth at home, because what you have to remember is the Cherries haven't been so bad. They had 13 goal attempts against Chelsea at home. 0-0 wasn't a bad result, could have sneaked it. Andoni Iraola will be desperate for his first 3 points of the Premier League season.
Theo, you've got to go with home advantage here. Brighton are a better team. Bournemouth are no mugs. It won't be a cricket score. 2-0 Brighton.
I'm going to go 1-0, lower scoring, and I think it's going to be a Dringa with the goal.
I was predicting Brighton to win this. I still will. I'll go Brighton 2-1.
And finally, Sheffield United against Newcastle United, 17th against 12th. This is a tricky one to predict because Newcastle went to AC Milan and got a point. Brilliant result.
Newcastle will be tired. As you mentioned, Tuesday night, it was a Tuesday night early kickoff, so they probably got back with some reasonable amount of time to recover for this match at the end of the game week. Having said that, it's still a distraction. You know, Newcastle know they've got more Champions League games coming, and Sheffield United away, it's one of these fixtures. It could be an upset. It could be. I'm actually going to say that it's a 1-1 draw.
Theo, of all the 10 games, this is the hardest to predict.
Really is.
Sheffield United 1, Newcastle 2. I think they've got the quality.
You know, this is the type of game could be a draw. 1-1.
I like that. That's exactly the same as what I've gone for.
So you gone for that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Robbie. One of the pioneers of football YouTube, full stop.
Are you going to be live streaming the North London Derby?
Yeah, we'll be on AFTV. We'll be live streaming the North London Derby, so make sure you check it out. And also check out my other channel, DR Sports. Got to get you on there, Fogden, man. Bring you down there.
Cheers, Robbie. Have a good one, yeah? And he's got a North London Derby to go enjoy. Go enjoy it, watch it, and I'm off to Orlando. That's not a joke.
Where
10,000
is
likes.
my invitation?
10,000 likes.
Where is
and I'll bring
my
Thog Dad.
Really?
No. See you later. Bye.